Welcome back to Dover International Speedway. Just before Sergio Pena's engine blew, the 00 Brett Moffitt got into the wall. You see his crew working on that race car to make it better. When he restarted in 15th. We're moving ahead in our coverage 25 laps at 104. Brett Moffitt back in the top 5. Ryan Gifford, Max Gresham, your top 2 as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag goes back in the air.
You know, as far as Brett Moffitt in that 00 car, we talked about this being the fastest racetrack this series goes to, and you saw him really focusing on that right front fender. Aerodynamics so critical at this fast 1-mile track.
And we have seen Brett Moffitt running the higher line, making it work for him, and they don't want anything to disrupt that line working because he may have to go by these 3 just in front of him if he wants to get out front and win a championship. Ryan Gifford looking to the inside of Max Gresham now.
Well, and we know in the grand scheme of things, Max Gresham in that 18 car, our points leader, coming in by 21 points. He just wants to make sure he keeps that 00 car of Brett Moffitt in the rearview mirror. And
right now, it's getting bigger in the rearview mirror. Brett Moffitt has been able to make the pass and move up into the 3rd spot as the battle for the lead continues. Gifford on the inside, Gresham on the outside. Gresham holding strong as he crosses the stripe just in front of Gifford. Here comes Brett Moffitt all over the back bumper of Ryan Gifford now.
Yeah, Brett Moffitt has led 447 laps this year, but he has yet to lead a lap here today. But he wants the lead so bad as this race is getting close to coming to an end.
He needs to lead the most laps, so he needs to get out front, lead a lap in the most laps, and win this race if he wants any chance of winning this championship, because Max Gresham running so strong out in front of the field right now.
And just remember, the K&N Pro Series East, they have the point system that we used to have in Sprint Cup. Leading a lap is 5 points. Leading the most laps is an additional 5 points.
So that would be 10 points to knock off of that lead that Max Gresham had coming in. Again, it was 21 points that separated the top 2 in the point standings before the race started. And right now, Gresham out in front. We talked about he has everything to lose. Right now, he is coming true to what he talked about earlier. Being out front, trying to win this race and win the championship.
And another driver that has nothing to lose, Ryan Gifford, trying to get his first win of the year, as we're looking here at Fane Skinner in the 12 car, really getting stacked up behind Andrew Ranger in that 35 car. That 35 car's in trouble. It looks like he'll come to pit road.
He's trying to make the hard left turn onto pit road, and getting stuck behind him was the 15 of Matt DiBenedetto, as we see the top 3 continuing to race around the Monster Mile. It's Gresham right in front of Ryan Gifford. Gifford was trying the low line, wasn't working for him. Now he's fallen back behind Gresham, and Brett Moffitt in that 00 trying to reel him in as the top 3 run with about 4 car lengths in between each other.
You know, even though they got the aerodynamics straightened out on that 00 car, Brett Moffitt, I was a little concerned as he smacked the wall a little earlier. Was there any suspension damage? But his car is so fast right through the middle of the corner, like right there is where his car, you can see him just gain on Ryan Gifford right through the middle of 3 and 4.
Really looks like he's able to pick up the throttle earlier than the other 2 that are in front of him right now, with Max Gresham and Ryan Gifford able to get back in the gas a little bit earlier and accelerate off of the corners.
And you know, this is a 1-mile racetrack, but you spend 2/3 of the time in the corner, and when you can pick the throttle up that early, it's a lot of miles per hour gain down these straightaways. Straightaways are actually pretty short.
Brett Moffitt trying to reel in the top 2. Gresham still leading. Ryan Gifford has closed the gap once again. He will try for the lead from Gresham.
You know, looking at Ryan Gifford, Dover, Delaware in a K&N East Series car is a long way from dirt late models in Tennessee.
Yeah, and here's a kid who has finished second twice. So close 2 times, but never to victory lane in the K&N Pro Series East, and now he's 1 car away from leading this race and potentially going on to his first win.
If he's going to pass Max Gresham in the 18, it's going to have to happen on the high side, because Max will not move off the bottom.
And this battle for 5th short-lived between Darrell Wallace Jr. and Brennan Newberry. Darrell Wallace Jr. able to get out in front of Newberry, and now Newberry has Dale Quarterly looking to the inside. Quarterly's able to get by also, and he'll move up into the 6th spot. The lead still, Max Gresham has a car length over Ryan Gifford. Gifford on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find the fast way around the 18.
Well, he got off the corner off turn 2 quite a bit better than the 18 car of Max Gresham. Just couldn't quite complete the pass down the back straightaway.
Here again, looking at the bottom of the racetrack. Gresham trying to close the door way up the racetrack. He slides. Here comes Ryan Gifford to the inside.
That was just enough to open the door at the bottom. Gifford takes the lead through 1 and 2. Looks like he just pull away from Max Gresham in the 18. Here comes Moffitt into 00. He wants that second spot.
Brett Moffitt on the inside. He's going to take the position away from Max Gresham. So now Moffitt in front of Gresham. He wants a few other cars to get in between he and Gresham if he has a chance to win this championship.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier Max Gresham wants to keep that 00 Brett Moffitt in his rearview mirror. As long as he can see him out the windshield with only him in front of him, he's in good shape.
Brett Moffitt running second. It's Ryan Gifford looking for his first ever win in the K&N Pro Series East. Welcome back. While we were away, the caution came out. Brendan Newberry got into the wall and brought out the caution. So we're about ready to restart with just 17 laps to go. Ryan Gifford in front of Brett Moffitt running in the second spot. Problems for Gifford on the restart. As the green flag comes out, Gifford doesn't get up to speed. Brett Moffitt takes the lead. Darrell Wallace Jr. behind him.
But the big stories, look at all the drivers that are trying to get by Max Gresham in that 18 car. He falls back to third, finally gets going here.
So Brett Moffitt in front. Gifford was hoping to be the 6th different winner this season, and it looks like problems for the 2 is going to relegate him back in the field.
Yeah, it looks like he spun the tires as Brandon McReynolds in the 42 almost gets into him. They really stack up behind these guys.
3 wide as they come out of turn number 4 across the stripe. Take another look at what happened with Gifford.
He just did not get going. Looks like he spun the tires. Max Gresham gets into him, stacks that whole inside lineup.
What a close call for championship leader Max Gresham, who was in the 18 behind Gifford, able to slide to the inside and clear Ryan Gifford on that restart. Back to green flag racing. Gifford, with just 15 laps to go, has dropped back. Still in the top 10, but struggles to stay up there.
Yeah, he's got back going. I think what happened when he got up the racetrack, he got a lot of rubber on his tires, had to get them cleaned off.
Didn't get it cleaned off enough as we see Cody Hodgson in the 03 in front of Brandon McReynolds. To the inside, here comes that 62 of Andrew Smith. It's a battle for the 11th spot. Just behind Brandon McReynolds, the 66 of Benny Gordon. Here's Brett Moffitt out in front. That means with Max Gresham running in the 3rd spot, only 6 points separate the top 2 in the championship. Gresham still with a 6-point lead.
Moffitt is doing everything he can do here. He's leading the race. He needs a couple more drivers to get by Max Gresham.
And last week he did the exact same thing. He got out front, led the most laps, got the most points you could possibly get in trying to win a 3rd championship in a row for Michael Waltrip Racing.
But just think about it. He has been into the wall. He has been on pit road. His crew made repairs to this 00 car. Here he is leading the race with less than 15 laps to go.
And the Grimes, Iowa native is going to need some help because he's going to do all that he can, but with Max Gresham running in the position he's running in now, he still won't be able to win this championship because Gresham is still 6 points in front of Brett Moffitt in this championship. Dale Quarterly just behind that 18 of Gresham. If Quarterly would get by, it'd be a 1-point difference in this championship.
And right now, just looking at the scoring monitor, Brett Moffitt is just pulling away from the field.
Brett Moffitt setting a blazing speed right now as he continues to check out on the field. All he wants to do, get out front, lead as many laps as he can, but most importantly, lead the last lap, win this race.
And for Darrell Quarterly, it's a personal goal here. Had to start at the rear of the field in that 32 car because of an engine change. Would love to get another spot on the racetrack.
This is the battle for 3rd. Max Gresham has it. Dale Quarterly trying to take it away. There you saw the gap between your race leader, Brett Moffitt, and this battle for the 3rd spot.
You know what I've noticed here the last lap or two, though? Darrell Wallace in that 6 is starting to reel in Brett Moffitt in that 00 up front.
So Darrell Wallace Jr. would love to get to victory lane one more time this season. He's been there twice. He won earlier at Richmond as well as Columbus. And now wanting to make that 3 wins on the season, but he's got to catch that 00 as the battle for 3rd continues. Max Gresham, Dale Quarterly, nose to tail.
He cannot shake Darrell Quarterly in that 32 car. Darrell Quarterly's car is just a little bit better going through the middle of the corner. I almost wonder, is there a little bit of damage on that 18 car from that last restart?
Again, got into the back of the 2 of Ryan Gifford on the restart. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the front of that race car, but you never know the handling of that 18 of Max Gresham, and a championship on the line. What's going through that young man's mind right now?
You know, one reason he's the championship leader, Rick, he has completed every lap of competition so far in 2011.
Very consistent has Max Gresham been. But Dale Quarterly trying to take that spot away. Again, if Quarterly gets by, it would be a 1-point difference between Gresham and Brett Moffitt. Gresham would still have that 1-point advantage even if Dale Quarterly does get by, but it doesn't look like Gresham wants to give up any positions right now on this racetrack.
In Gresham, he really truly don't need to worry about these two guys at the front, Brett Moffitt and Darrell Wallace Jr. Just worry about staying where you're at, because we don't have that many laps to go.
Hold your position inside the final 10 laps of racing here from Dover International Speedway, the final race of the 2011 season.
I don't like what I saw right there. I saw Sparks come out from underneath that 00 car, and he was up the racetrack a little bit.
Inside of 5 to go. Brett Moffitt in the 00 out in front, trying to win this race, trying to close the gap on the championship.
And he is definitely, Darrell Wallace Jr. is closing the gap on that 00 car. Darrell Wallace so much, he knows probably not the championship, but I can win this race.
A great way to end the season with just 4 laps of racing to go. Brett Moffitt in front of that 6 that has been damaged. There's smoke again behind the 00.
Sparks.
Up the racetrack he goes. Brett Moffitt, your race leader, into the wall.
That right front tire had been going down on him the last 2 or 3 laps, and his championship season hopes will come to an end.
The 8th caution of the day, and this time it's race leader and title contender Brett Moffitt who gets into the wall, and he will have to come to pit road now and relinquish the top spot. Take another look.
Yeah, we saw the Sparks a couple laps before, right in the middle of the corner, and it's the worst place that you can lose a right front tire. You can see the car just goes straight. It will not turn.
Dashing the hopes of the 00, Brett Moffitt, the hard left turn into the garage here at Dover International Speedway. We'll be back for the conclusion of this one here on Speed. A disappointing conclusion to the 2011 season. Brett Moffitt climbs out of his race car after leading. The right front tire blows and he hits the wall. Green-white checker. Darrell Wallace Jr. on the outside. Gresham on the inside.
But Dylan Presnell in the 14 car on the outside didn't get going. Look at him, 4 and 5 wide behind him, but Darrell Wallace will take the lead going off into turn 1.
All bunched up behind the top 3. Darrell Wallace Jr. out in front of Max Gresham. Dale Quarterly running in the 3rd spot. Now Gresham just has to go 2 more laps before he claims his first championship in the K&N Pro Series. Little bump there out of Quarterly. Quarterly's going to take 2nd away from Gresham.
Quarterly will not give up. Started this race at the rear of the field. Max Gresham don't need to worry about the battle because he's going to win the war.
He's going to win the war as Eddie McDonald comes up on his back bumper. Darrell Wallace Jr., though, wants to get another win in the 2011 season. Working his way through 3 and 4. It's going to be Darrell Wallace Jr. A dominant performance today after damage to that race car goes to victory lane.
Won everything you could win here. Both practice sessions, the pole, and now wins the race.
And in dramatic fashion, Max Gresham will win the championship. But the celebration will go to the Army, number 6 of Darrell Wallace Jr., getting his 3rd win of the season. The disappointment, though, would have to lie with Brett Moffitt. And Brett Moffitt standing by with Derek Perniciglio.
It was a bittersweet day today for Brett Moffitt. He won 2 races here at Dover in the past, but today not going to happen. How tough is it to be able to take this day?
You know, it's definitely hard on us. This is kind of the story of our season, though. We're the dominant car again today. Didn't start the race off the dominant car, but we adjusted on it and got us there. I got us into the fence there a few laps into it, and we battled back through that. And, man, it just stinks that we didn't last the whole race and were able to win.
You don't see this very often. 2 drivers able to celebrate at the end of a race. One wins the race, the other the championship. We'll hear from both next.